this. Please hear. Oh, this is powerful.
Captains of that revival. And so when you are talking about revival, maybe you think it's prayer. Revival is not prayer, sir.
You hear that? Revival is not prayer.
Prayer is one of the catalysts of revival.
Okay.
And the reason prayer is a catalyst is because prayer represents three things. Number one, it's a sign that you don't trust in yourself anymore. So you are calling on God out of desperation.
Okay.
Number two, prayer represents submission to God's authority. So one, you don't trust yourself anymore. Two, you submit to God's authority. And three, it's a revelation of the passion that you feel towards God. So it's a way of ventilating.
You hear that?
You are desiring God so much, so if you don't pray, you will explode. These are the three things that prayer represents in revival that makes you see prayer in every revival. But prayer is not revival.
You hear that?
Revival is actually the capacity God furnishes in a people to walk with Him.
Do you hear that?
When a people are revived, they become more like Christ.
You hear that?
And they walk with Christ.
Please hear this.
But I can tell you, many people pray and they have no walk with God.
Did you
and
hear?
The way you know it is not in the church, it's in their offices.
Hey.
It's in the marketplace.
Hey.
There's no walk with God, but they are prayer warriors. They don't become like God.
Lord have mercy.
The guy finishes praying. Try him outside the church and see the anger that will come out.
My goodness.
There's no transformation, there's no transfiguration.
Malo.
When revival takes place, you'll see Jesus mass produced.
My goodness.
So you no longer know men after the flesh, you know them after dimensions of Christ.
Malo.
And so revival is not prayer. Revival is becoming like Jesus and walking with Jesus.
Did you hear that?
And so if we don't find people who look like Christ,
hey,
that thing is not revival.
Ha!
And I'm not saying prayer is not a part of it. Prayer is a part of it, and I've told you three reasons why. Revival is deeper than people praying.
Did you hear that?
I wish I had time. I would have shown you from scripture.
Please hear this. Hear this.
Where they prayed for 70 years
hey.
and fasted. God came and said, I don't know about that prayer.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? He said there was a city in the Bible where the people pray non-stop for 70 years. Not 7 days, not 7 years, 70 years, 7 and 0. And God said He doesn't know them. Please hear this. Please hear this.
And I'm not saying prayer is not a part of it.
Prayer is part of revival. Prayer is not revival. All we know is prayer. We Christian, all the spiritual weapon, prayer. And we don't get nothing.
Prayed for 70 years and fasted. God came and said, I don't know about that prayer.
A city where they prayed for 70 years. Sorry, I was talking. Let me pray again.
They prayed for 70 years and fasted. Find people who look like Christ. That thing is not revival. And I'm not saying prayer is not a part of it. Prayer is a part of it, and I've told you three reasons why. But revival is deeper than people praying. I wish I had time. I would have shown you from scripture. There was a city where they prayed for 70 years and fasted. God came and said, I don't know about that prayer.
You didn't hear that? Did you hear that? 70 years.
70 years. Non-stop. 70 years. They were praying and they were fasting. God said, I don't know about it.
You hear that?
What were you people doing? They said, we have been praying for 70 years. One generation has passed. They said, how come? I'm not aware. Because when I came around, I saw wickedness. I saw malice. I saw evil.
Hey.
You have a house girl. You can't give her food.
Did you hear?
You are praying.
Did you hear that?
They said, that's not prayer.
Did you hear that?
Making noise.
Wickedness, malice, jealousy, lying.
And we are praying
Those
for
are
3 years. We say, hey, the move of God is here. Oh, no, it's deeper. Deeper. In fact, the reason God will consider that prayer, if He shows that we have come to the end of ourselves, if He shows that truly we know that there's nothing else that matters but God, and if He shows that we are submitting to God's authority, that's when that prayer will make sense. But this prayer now of showing that I have capacity to pray in capital letter tongues, that one is a fail. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with praying long, because most times when you are preaching, it's what you are not saying that they are hearing. And so for a generation to walk in revival, they must be baptized with His sufferings. So when you move from the fellowship of one another, you go into the fellowship of His suffering.
Suffer for God.
And we find find this
live like God,
repeat
like
in
Jesus.
stories of revival.
Okay,
When
I'll
revival
stop here.
begin, martyrs are born.